6 Truths About the Stupidest Elderly Men, Carl Jung's Shocking Wisdom. Why do some men grow wiser with age, while others become the stupidest version of themselves? It's not about IQ. It's not about education. It's about behavior patterns, silent, unconscious habits that destroy your potential and leave you stuck in a loop of regret. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That's the tragedy of growing old without wisdom. In this video, we uncover 6 painful truths about self-sabotaging behavior in aging men, truths most people ignore until it's too late. These aren't just mistakes, they're warning signs that you're headed toward a life of quiet failure. Don't be the man who ages but never grows. Here are the 6 undeniable signs of a truly foolish man, and how to break free from them. Absolutely. Here's the refined and emotionally engaging version with a real-life story, strong hook, and natural flow, kept within the 300-word range. 1. He thinks he knows everything, the first sign of a stupid man. Nothing screams foolishness louder than a man who believes he has nothing left to learn. You've seen him, the one who always interrupts, dismisses new ideas, and treats advice like an insult. He scoffs at change, clings to outdated beliefs, and confuses loud confidence with true competence. Psychologists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect, a cognitive bias where those with the least ability overestimate their skills. The truly stupid man is convinced he's wise after one YouTube rabbit hole. He believes personal experience trumps facts, research, or expert insight. This mindset is dangerous. Instead of growing, he stagnates. Instead of building respect, he repels others with arrogance. And worst of all, he repeats the same mistakes, never realizing his ignorance is steering the ship. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old retired electrician I once met at a local coffee shop. He scoffed at today's nonsense like online banking, smartphones, or even stretching before workouts. "Back in my day," was his favorite phrase. He refused to learn anything new, even when it was hurting him. His savings dwindled because he wouldn't adapt financially. His health declined, but he rejected advice from younger trainers. Eventually, friends and family distanced themselves, tired of his know-it-all attitude. Meanwhile, truly intelligent men do the opposite. They ask questions. They read. They listen. They evolve. Like Socrates said, a wise man knows that he knows nothing. Wisdom isn't about having the answers, it's about seeking them. If you want to age with grace and strength, don't let pride chain you to ignorance. Humility isn't weakness, it's the gateway to wisdom. 2. He never takes responsibility. The foolish man always has an excuse. When things go wrong, he blames bad luck, society, his boss, anyone but himself. His relationships fail because women are the problem. His career stalls because the system is rigged. He remains in denial because accepting responsibility would mean acknowledging his role in his own disappointments. This victim mentality guarantees stagnation. When a man refuses accountability, he remains trapped in recurring problems. He loses respect from others who see through his excuses. He never experiences growth, which requires honest self-assessment. He surrenders control over his life to external forces. As Jung observed, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The foolish man builds a wall of excuses to protect his fragile ego rather than confronting his flaws. The difference is stark. Fools blame the world, wise men adapt and find solutions. Fools make excuses, wise men find a way forward regardless of obstacles. Fools avoid discomfort, wise men embrace it as the path to growth. This fundamental difference explains why some men remain broke, bitter, and stuck while others evolve and succeed. 3. He can't control his emotions. Emotional intelligence separates the wise from the foolish. The stupid man reacts instead of responding thoughtfully. Lets emotions dictate his actions. Makes impulsive decisions leading to regret. Handles problems by lashing out, breaking down, or running away. Consider the hothead who explodes at the slightest inconvenience, the overreactor who treats minor problems as catastrophes, or the impulse-driven man who spends recklessly and quits jobs in anger. These men mistakenly equate aggression with strength, believing that shouting loudest makes them right. A man who cannot master his emotions becomes easily manipulated. Anyone who knows how to trigger him can control him. His mood depends on external circumstances, making him perpetually unstable. He sabotages his relationships, career, and opportunities because he reacts emotionally instead of thinking logically. True strength comes from emotional control. As Proverbs 29 verse 11 states, "A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man quietly holds it back." Wise men pause before reacting, channel emotions constructively, and practice self-awareness. They recognize when emotions are clouding judgment and shift to rational thinking. 4. He surrounds himself with fools. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. A man's inner circle reflects where he's headed. The foolish man surrounds himself with negative thinkers who constantly complain, lazy individuals who waste time on distractions, yes men who never challenge his bad decisions, people who are just as lost as he is. As Johann Wolfgang von Goethe observed, "Tell me who you spend time with, and I will tell you who you are." The stupid man fears growth and avoids discomfort. Rather than being the least knowledgeable person in a room of brilliant minds, he prefers being the smartest among fools. This boosts his ego but stunts his development. We unconsciously absorb the behaviors and mindsets of those around us. Spend time with unmotivated people, and you'll lose your drive. Associate with negative individuals, and you'll adopt their pessimism. If your closest friends are directionless, that's your trajectory too. Intelligent men choose their circles carefully. They seek mentors who are where they want to be, friends who call them out when needed, and driven individuals who inspire them. They understand that your environment shapes you more than you realize, and they take control of that environment. 5. He chases pleasure instead of discipline. The foolish man is enslaved by his impulses. He consistently chooses comfort over challenge, seeks distractions rather than growth, prioritizes immediate gratification over long-term success, wastes time on cheap dopamine hits. Modern society makes foolishness easier than ever with endless entertainment options, social media scrolling, casual relationships, and other escape mechanisms. Every day, weak men choose these temporary pleasures over discipline, wondering years later why their dreams never materialized. The fundamental difference lies in the questions they ask. The stupid man asks, "What feels good right now?" The wise man asks, "What will make my future better?" While the lazy fool watches Netflix all day, the disciplined man builds skills and strengthens his mind. While the weak fool wastes money on fleeting enjoyments, the wise man invests in his future. While the undisciplined fool jumps between casual relationships, the wise man builds meaningful connections. History's greatest men, from warriors to philosophers, lived by discipline. They rose early, trained their minds, controlled their desires, and focused on their missions. Pleasure is a trap that fools eagerly enter while wise men carefully manage. If you can't master yourself, the world will master you. 6. He never learns from his mistakes. Perhaps the deadliest form of stupidity is repeating the same mistakes repeatedly. The foolish man stumbles into identical traps in relationships, finances, and personal habits without ever changing his approach. This is what Jung called unconscious repetition compulsion, repeating harmful patterns because they feel familiar, even when they cause suffering. Instead of asking, "Why do I keep ending up here?" the stupid man plays the victim. He never examines his failures to extract their lessons. Life keeps teaching him the same painful class because he refuses to learn the material. The distinction isn't in how many mistakes a man makes, everyone fails and faces setbacks. The difference is that fools repeat their errors while wise men grow from them. If you continue making the same poor decisions, life will keep delivering the same painful consequences until you finally wake up. A foolish man loves hearing himself speak. He dominates conversations, interrupts others, and rarely shows genuine interest in different perspectives. He doesn't realize that listening is how we learn, build relationships, and gain new insights. A man who can't listen is fundamentally unable to grow. Intelligence isn't about IQ or memorizing facts, it's about self-awareness, adaptability, and making better choices. To develop true intelligence, be brutally honest with yourself. Stop self-deception. Examine where you're repeating mistakes or blaming others instead of taking responsibility. Kill your ego and stay humble. Question your beliefs. Remain open to feedback. Never assume you've figured everything out. Master emotional control. Practice patience. Listen instead of reacting. Don't let minor issues trigger you. Surround yourself with smarter people. If you're the smartest person in your circle is too small. Seek mentors and cut off negative influences. Learn from every mistake. Treat failures as lessons. Reflect, adapt, and grow instead of repeating the same cycles. Intelligence is ultimately a choice. Stupidity only becomes permanent when you choose to remain blind to your patterns. Face yourself honestly, stay humble, learn from your mistakes, and carefully select your influences. While most people remain stuck in self-destructive loops, you can choose a different path, one of continuous growth, learning, and success. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and never stop learning.